welcome to the Spiritual Connection Show. I'm your host, Katie Augustyn. I'm the spiritual head of the Transformation Center CT, which is located in Westport, Connecticut. I'm also a transformation coach, an energy healer, shamanic practitioner, and we do different things here at the center. You know, in addition to doing individual sessions for coaching and healing, we also have group workshops, trainings. Sometimes we do group meditations. In fact, this week we're doing a sound bath in the backyard, which we try to do every summer. And all of this is on our website, all the information. So I'm going to share the screen with our info, just right here. And you can check it out at your leisure, Transformation Center CT at gmail.com. It's our email address, and the URL is right above that, transformationcenterct.com. You can text, you can call, you can do whatever suits you. You know, once a month we have satsang, which is Sanskrit for in the company of truth. And that is usually the last Wednesday evening of the month, and it's an hour. We've been doing it on Zoom, but now we're also in person. So you can check it out on the website and see what's going on there. Monthly, we also have shamanic clinics, which is a great opportunity for you to learn about shamanism in a very introductory fashion, because it's just a 30-minute session you sign up for. And there's no, set fee for it. There's a gratitude offering if you care to do that. But you get a 30-minute healing, basically. And so you can find out about that, ask any questions you might have. And that's the second Tuesday of each month, also on our website. So welcome again to the Spiritual Connection Show. And as you know, or maybe you don't, if this is your first time, connection is one of my core values. It's really about, connecting with each other during the show, and also connecting with our own spiritual selves. And really, I want you to meet, we have a different guest each week, and I want you to meet the guest and learn from them about their spiritual journey, what might be in it for you, what information is there for you, and also what they have to offer, because they all are different practitioners in their own right. So I'm very excited today to welcome Traci Weber. Welcome to the show, Traci.
Hi there. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. My honor.
I am very excited to have you too. I just met Traci just a few weeks ago, and as soon as you said you were interested in coming on the show, I was like, perfect, because I know you have a great story to tell, and I can't wait to hear all about it. I haven't heard it. Our audience hasn't heard it. But Traci is an innovative author, and you're going to hear a lot about that in a minute. She's a yoga teacher and happens to be the owner of WalkAboutYoga. So she's going to tell us how that works. I love that name. And, Traci told me that she credits yoga with saving her life. So that's
absolutely
going to be part of her story. So I'm just going to show your contact info up here. It has your logo, WalkAboutYoga. And you can see the website is walkaboutyoga.net. And you can go on her website, find out what's going on. You can text her at that number or call her. So she has all these certifications. She's very active in the community as well. And one exciting thing she's going to talk about, I'm just going to share the screen one more time before you get started, okay? And this is, she just published a new book, which I can't wait to hear all about, and it's called Reclaim Your Wild. And this is the artwork that she used on the cover, and she'll show you the book itself. But it's all about, basically, it's a story of the 30-day walkabout yoga journey. So you'll tell us more about that in a minute, right, Traci?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Well, welcome to the show again. And, I always start out asking my guests, the first question is, tell us a little bit about your spiritual journey thus far, really anything you want to share as it comes up.
Sure, absolutely. So I guess I'd have to say that my spiritual journey started when I was 12, growing up in a sort of a little bit of a little turmoil in my family life, not having the tools to deal with, different traumas that were happening. As a 12-year-old little girl, I came across this book, and I don't even know how. I'll show you the book. It's Richard Hittleman's 28-day yoga exercise plan. And this was my first yoga teacher, and this is where I got the tools to navigate those difficulties in my life. At a 12-year-old girl, I would just go into my room, and each day, similarly to my book, has a different exercise plan. It has different spiritual guidance, different mantras, just explaining very simply what yoga philosophy is about. And this book honestly gave me the tools to navigate a very troubled childhood. So I'm thankful for it.
Well, that's awesome that you learned that at such a young age.
Yeah. Thank Lord for that.
Yeah, I'm sure that made a big difference. And there's so much more to yoga as a lifestyle than just what we, typically think of going to a yoga class and doing some poses, right?
Absolutely. So for me, the journey continued through my whole life, and I decided about 15 years ago that I wanted to learn a little bit more about the philosophy. So I came to yoga. For me, the poses were a safe way to express myself. I desperately wanted to be the model that was in this book. This book did not give a lot of information about the philosophy, so I wanted to know more about it. And I think that naturally happens to people. Most people come to yoga for the poses, but then realize, holy moly, there is so much more to this than meets the eye, between the breath work, the different approaches to the yamas and the niyamas. And I wanted to know that stuff. I wanted to learn more. I wanted to be a better person. And I decided to take my yoga teacher training. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that's how it started, but then it's kind of come full circle in a way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah. And as part of the philosophy about, I did a little bit of looking into it a couple of years ago, like that whole coming from the heart and compassion and all that. Is that always part of it? How does that work?
Yoga is absolutely a practice of love for self, love for others, approaching things from a loving, kind heart. And, just sort of walking in life that way. So there are different poses. I love to teach the Warrior One posture, where that pose teaches us to be strong, but to walk the earth with a loving, kind heart. You can do both. You can live both of those things. You can be strong and gentle at the same time. It's all about effort and ease. It's all about balance, right? You can have both things together. And that's where the sort of joy comes from, knowing how to blend those two things. Yeah, it's powerful stuff. I decided a few years ago to offer my students this is a good segue to my book, offer my students this really sort of raw, not well written, first draft 30-day challenge. And I offered it to my students about 3 years ago, free of charge. Every day I would send them a yoga pose and a task, what to do, and just how to sort of open themselves up a little bit more to nature, open themselves up a little bit more to themselves. I had a few students do it, and then it just kind of went to the wayside, and I stopped thinking about it. COVID happened, and I decided to take a trip. There were some things going on in my life that we worked out, and everything was fine. But then I realized I needed a little time by myself, so I went camping alone for 5 days off the coast of Virginia, which is a place that we used to go to as a young family, my husband and my daughter and I. We would go 10 days every summer camping in this campsite. It was beautiful. So I decided to go back there by myself, just to sort of kind of reclaim myself. And while I was there, I was riding my bicycle and asking the universe, or whatever your belief is, God, Buddha, whatever, universe, energy, how can I incorporate all the things that I love and actually make a thriving, good living at it. It's hard to make money at yoga, just teaching yoga classes. But how can I combine these things? There has to be some way that these things can mesh. And I can live my life the way that I want to, helping other people. So I ride my bike, and nothing happened. There were no lightning bolts. There was nothing happened. Got back to my campsite and looked at my phone, and there was a text message from my publisher asking me if I wanted to make that previous 30-day journey into a book.
Wow.
Yes, and that's the truth of how that happened. And so the universe actually did respond to me. And so that's when it started. So I was able to have the time, because of COVID, to write this book, to realize where I wanted it to come from. And it was really kind of an incredible experience. I realized along the way through my life that women have just been, for centuries and centuries, kind of forever, the wild has been sort of taken out of them, has been beaten out of them, has been minimized or ridiculed. Women who were healers over the century were called witches. Redheads were called witches. All of the specialness of women has been stripped from them. And I worked at a job for 17 years that was literally stealing my soul. And I did it. I was raising my daughter. We were, raising our daughter. And I did it because I kind of had to. And that's what was expected of me. That's what I expected of me at that time. I needed to make a certain amount of money. But I began not even recognizing myself at this job. I didn't look like me. It didn't act like me. I was completely lost. And I realized what was happening is that this business that I was in was completely stripping me of who I was. And that was part of why I did this challenge initially 3 years ago. And it was the big catalyst for me to write this book, because I want to give that back to women. I want to give them the opportunity to really find who they are. Not find who they are, just come back to who they are, right? And that's really what this book is all about.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's fabulous.
yeah. I'm very, very excited about it. I had a great team of people. My publisher, my editor, the designer were amazing people. This book is visually very beautiful, very scary to write. I grew up in Westport. Well, a few years I lived in Westport, and I graduated Staples High School. Barely. So I look at myself sometimes and I think, wow, how did I get so fortunate to have this opportunity to help people in the way that lifts me up as it lifts other people up. So yeah.
Wow. Did you answer to that question? How did you get so fortunate?
I believe that that you get back what you put out into the world, and I really love to help people in this manner. I just have to say, I feel like it's you get back what you put out, and I think I put those things out into the world. I do a lot of volunteer work. I try to walk in the world from a loving, kind, compassionate heart. And I don't know what's going to happen with this book. I have no idea. I do know that it was so humbling and such a phenomenal experience. And if this book reaches and helps one person, I'm happy. I'm thrilled with that. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's like, the book that helped you saved your life.
Yeah.
Just imagine that.
Yeah, well, that's the thing that I find so interesting is I wanted to be this girl desperately, and now I am this girl. And that's really kind of something, that's really kind of something. And that doesn't fail to amaze me. That's not lost on me. I don't want to say the irony of it, but just the completion of it, the completion of that circle. And circles are really, really sacred things in the yoga world and all different kinds of worlds. But I feel like I've come full circle because I've gone through a lot of different things from the moment that I met this book, I found this book, till writing this book. All of that has created who I am now, but I'm back to it, and I just find that really, really, really fascinating, and I can't be thankful enough. I just can't be thankful enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's fabulous, and I suspect it's not an accident. I mean, to me, there are no accidents.
Right.
And you put the intention out there. You wanted to be that person.
Yeah.
Without really maybe fully at the time, maybe in your head you didn't realize, but in your heart you knew.
Yeah. I mean, as a young girl, I had no idea about this kind of stuff. I had no idea about, throwing stuff out to the universe, telling the universe what you want, what you give out comes back. I had no idea about those things intellectually, but you're probably right. I probably did realize that in my heart. So Walk About Yoga, Reclaim Your Wild is 30 days. Each day has a yoga pose. It talks about, it gives you a very detailed guide of how to do the yoga pose. It has what chakras are aligned and affected by the yoga pose. It has a daily task of a way for you to reconnect with yourself, reconnect with nature, little journeys you go on, all different kinds of things, making medicine bags, ritual foot soaks. So it's a beautiful opportunity to be in nature and to take time for yourself. I do know some girls are doing this in tandem. They're doing the book together and then getting together and talking about what they did that day. So that's kind of an exciting thing to think about as well.
Yeah, I can see it being a nice, even a small group getting together.
Yes. I'm trying to think about how to sort of develop that, to give people, I know people do, they have book club conversations and stuff. So I'm thinking about how can I have people do like a Reclaim Your Wild book club, but an actual physical doing the events together,
That's a great idea.
Yeah. I just have to kind of figure out how I'm going to present that, but it'll come to me. I'll throw it out in the universe and it'll come back.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of things that can go with it, and that it will open doors to. It feels like to me.
Yes, me too. I'm excited. So we'll be doing. I'm having a book launch party at Cafe Atlantique on the 22nd. We make sure of July. Everybody is welcome to come. It's just going to be a little cocktail party. I'll have the book there. I'm going to be doing yoga class book signings actually at Teeny Forest in a couple of weeks, and just slowly but surely getting it out there, and hopefully changing some lives.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like it's your mission. It could also be your purpose.
Could be. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%.
And then, I can't wait to see it in real life. And where do we purchase it if someone was interested in purchasing it?
So right now it's on Amazon. It's available in Kindle and in the soft cover. I recommend getting the soft cover. I personally just like to have a book to hold.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so beautiful. And there's a spot in the back of the book where you can write notes. So some of the days, actually not some, all of the days, there are journal prompts to sort of just help you kind of, how did it feel that day? Maybe it'll open up some other things that you need to just get down on paper. And it's actually kind of nice to take along with you. If you are going on one of the journeys where you have to go hiking someplace, or we do different things like stargazing and moon bathing and eating peaches in the rain, coming back to being your child self, eating peaches in the rain.
That's cool.
So,
can you show us the front of the book again? I think you might have before, but yeah. Like when I first saw the artwork, I thought that was you. I mean,
yes.
It's really remarkable.
Well, and the woman who did the photos of me in the book, her name is Deb Altieri. She's actually kind of amazing. After the book came out, she said, why didn't we use you? We could have painted your face like that. And I said, oh, geez, this is first book stuff. So we'll learn from that. And then the next book, we will know, So yeah, so I'm thinking about next steps in the book. This may become like a series, reclaim your ... to be filled in. I don't know yet. And my publisher is already sort of pushing me in that direction. And I have asked her to please let me just do this one. Let's get this one going, and then we'll think about what the next steps are. But I am really, really humbled and wow, just inspired.
Yeah. Well, it is inspiring. I agree. Is it, you mentioned at the beginning about women, how it specifically occurred for you, or having the idea about the book. Is it primarily for women, or is it for anybody who wants to do it?
I think that everyone could get something out of this book, but it is specifically geared towards women. Like I said in the beginning of the show, that we've just been, so much has been taken from us, and I wanted to help somebody, help women with sort of a trail map, a guidebook on how to just rediscover who you are. And like yoga, yoga is a practice. Yoga is not a perfect. You don't nail it, the first time you try it. It is a spiritual journey. And it's different every day for you. And this book is the same way. I mean, I'm not saying that when you're done with the 30 days of this book that you are going to be wild, no, maybe not. But you're going to start that journey. You may need to redo these things. You may need to reread it, sit with it for a little while. But it is a map to start you on that journey. And I am happy to take you there. I am happy to hold your hand and walk down that path with you. There was something else that I was going to say, and now I can't remember.
Well, it may come back to you.
It might come back. Yeah, it might come back to me.
Okay, because I wanted to ask a little bit, besides the book, about Walkabout Yoga and how that name came about and what is that?
Sure. Okay. So I guess I'll go ahead and just give you the whole history. I guess it was about 10 years ago, I became a bone marrow donor for a boy who lived in California. And I did it. I decided to join the registry because I felt I owed a debt to the world because of my daughter, who had a very serious medical condition, and she's fine. She's beautiful and perfect and happy and healthy and everything. But I felt that I needed to pay it forward. So I joined the registry, and I, within 3 months, was a hard match for this boy in California, 16-year-old boy who had leukemia. And I did the donation. A year later, his mom reached out to me. Would you like to meet us? And I said, I would die to meet you. Let's, book the flight. So I flew to California to meet him and his family. And while I was there, I did I always look for yoga wherever I go. I always look for yoga. And I did a hiking yoga class while I was there.
Oh, interesting.
So, right? So, and it was, if you've never been to San Francisco, it's all uphill. And
yes.
It's not
yes.
easy.
Yeah.
There's no downhill, it's all uphill. And so I decided that, okay, wow, I can do that in Connecticut. Why not? It's so beautiful. And I spoke with the people at the company, the hiking yoga company, and I decided not to work with them and just to branch out on my own. Walkabout Yoga, because it's you're on a journey in yoga, right? When the Aborigines, when they go on walkabout, they're on a journey, and it's a hiking yoga class. So I started Walkabout Yoga, and we initially were hiking around Silver Sands. And then COVID hit, and I decided to just make it a beach yoga class. No walking. Everybody stays 6 feet apart. It was very safe. It was outdoors. And everybody liked it. They loved it just on the beach. So what I have turned it into is beach yoga, but then I take groups of 10, 15, however many, 20 girls or boys on hikes, different trails around Connecticut. So we'll meet, and this is a moderate trail, and we'll hike a little, do yoga, hike a little, do yoga. So we're actually hiking in the woods doing yoga. And that seems to really be a beautiful combination, nature, yoga, outdoors. And I'm able to offer both things. I'm able to offer a regular yoga, a beach class, and a hiking class. So you can do whatever, you can pick and choose whatever you'd like. And yeah, Walkabout Yoga.
Wow, I love the concept because I just had never actually heard of it before.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so your studio is the great outdoors, basically.
That studio is. Well, yoga really is meant to be practiced outside. Yoga studios are great, and I have nothing against yoga studios, but when you practice outside, first of all, you can really breathe, right? You can move, you've got space. There's, you can send your energy out, you can keep your energy in. It also gives us the opportunity to create our own sacred space, right? When you're in a studio, the lights are dimmed for you. The temperature is a certain temperature, the music, everything's controlled for you. But when you're practicing outside, you're in control of that. And then, right? So that's really amazing. And then you have these opportunities, right? You get distractions, and plane goes by, car, whatever it is. But those distractions, those obstacles are actually opportunities to remind you to come back to your breath. And it encourages you to go deeper within to keep those at bay. So I think it adds on a whole nother layer of the experience, of the journey.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I hadn't thought of. Well,
yeah,
super. I can see why people love that. So really happy to hear about it.
It's kind of amazing. There's another type of getting into nature called forest bathing. And forest bathing is more than just like a walking meditation. I actually did a little forest bathing with a group at Teeny Forest a few weeks ago. It's more of an immersion into your senses, right? And people know about the 5 senses, but there are actually 4 other ones that, if you ever take a class with me on forest bathing, you'll hear about them. But we don't want to get into it right now. But so forest bathing is silent, and you're all of these 9 senses are immersed into nature. So you're touching, you're feeling, you're smelling, perhaps tasting, and it's a deeper connection to nature. So more connection and less of a meditation. It's a beautiful practice. It was originated in Japan years ago. It's a beautiful practice.
That sounds wonderful too.
Yeah.
Well, we're running out of time, so I know it goes by so fast. I'm just going to put up your contact info again. So if people want to go on your website, and I guess you have information about your new book there as well on your website.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a link to order the book there too. Yeah.
Okay, so they can check that out. And thank you for being on the show. It was really great to have you.
This was wonderful. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful, blessed day.
Yeah, you too, Traci.
Thank you.
Take care. All right. Bye-bye.